Hi, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today. For some of you it's good morning, for some of you it's good afternoon, and here in Zagreb it's 4 p.m. And we are very happy to see you all in the audience. My name is Maya and I am Product Marketing Manager here at SysKit for SPDocKit, and I will give you a quick intro into our webinar's topic, and then my colleague Eva will lead you through our demo. We both work here in SysKit for more than 5 years, and Eva was a quality assurance engineer for SPDocKit, and now she works as a head of division. She takes care of product lifecycle development and our teams. We recently rebranded our company, so from Acceleratio we renamed it to SysKit. And SysKit is a software development company based in Zagreb. We were founded in 2009, and we create server monitoring solutions for SharePoint, Office 365, SQL servers, Citrix admins, and consultants. SysKit has more than 3,000 customers in all over the world. On this slide you can see just some of them. So we have customers in more than 50 countries worldwide, and these numbers are growing through years, which makes us very proud and very happy. Today I will give you a quick overview of our tool SPDocKit. Then we will go through Office 365 groups overview. Then we will quickly show you what can SPDocKit do for you in terms of managing Office 365 groups, and then we will continue with a demo. Just quick tips for all of you. Our recording and slide deck of the webinar will be available. I will send them to you via email probably tomorrow morning, and we have reserved about 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the webinar for all of your questions. So feel free to use GoToWebinar application on the side of your screen, enter your questions there, and then we will try to answer as many as we can, but if we don't manage to answer all of them, we will also send the answers on your email. So we can now start with our presentation. For those of you who haven't maybe tried SPDocKit yet, let me just tell you something about the tool. SPDocKit is a SharePoint management and administration tool created by SysKit, as I already mentioned. It was developed for administrators and consultants to save their time, to automate their administration tasks, and just to simplify everything that they have to do in their daily tasks. So at first, SPDocKit was a documentation tool, and this is something that remained its core feature. So it basically gathers all of the farm configuration settings and allows you to explore them and generate as a documentation file, which really can save you a lot of time and manual copying and pasting data. So through the years, the tool really grew, and now it's the tool that helps you manage permissions. You can audit farm configuration using our best practices reports. You can check your site structure, you can check content usage, and a lot of more. Recently we added features which allow you to monitor farm health. You can check server performance, you can troubleshoot using our event viewer, you can search through ULS logs, and a lot more. So we can say that SPDocKit now brings much more than just documentation. It brings a lot of reports, management actions, it helps you with governance, and a lot more. So if you haven't tried SPDocKit yet, please visit our website www.spdockit.com and download 30-day free trial. Try it, let us know how you like it, and contact us if you need any help, of course. So why did we decide to create this tool? What are its benefits? As I already said, we try to create a tool which will automate administrator tasks and simplify it. We also wanted to create a tool which will help you enhance SharePoint farm performance, detect potential issues, etc. So feel free to try it and share your opinion with us. So let's move to our today's topic, to Office 365 groups. During the last couple of months, you have probably noticed a lot of buzz from the community about the Office 365 groups. What do they do? Why are they great for your team? What you can do with them, etc. So basically, Office 365 groups are a shared workspace for email, for files, for events, for conversations, where all of the group members can collectively get all of their stuff done. And they let you choose a set of people that you wish to collaborate with and easily set up a collection of resources for those people to work with and to share. So when you set up an Office 365 group or a user setups the group, they will be equipped with a shared inbox where they will have all of their email conversations between group members. Then they get shared calendar for scheduling events related to the group. Then they get a SharePoint document library, which is a basically central place where they can, where a group people store their files, share their files, and work on them. Then they get OneNote notebook for gathering ideas, information, and of course SharePoint team site, which is a central repository for all of this information, for links, content related to their group, planner, etc. But each user can create up to 250 Office 365 groups, which for an administrator sometimes can make a problem. Why? Because you get a loss of control and probably you will have to manually audit every several months your environment. Probably you will need to clean all of these test groups that will clutter your environment, etc. So, except that there will be some management actions that you will have to perform, but which will not be so simple using the original interface. Imagine that, for example, you need to add some user to more groups at once, or you wish to import a list of users into multiple groups. So this sounds a little bit complicated, and this is why we created these features in SPDocKit. I will just give you now a quick overview of these features, and then Eva will show them to you in her demo. So this screenshot on this slide shows you our groups and teams explorer. So here you can see a list of all groups and teams in one place. You can check their name, URL, privacy, and stuff like that. And then when you choose a specific group, in this case I choose Annual Customer Conference, you will see who is the group's owner and who are its members, along with other important details. And directly from here you can easily add owner, add member, you can also delete group and stuff like that. So all of the management actions are directly available here from this screen. Except that what is the most interesting here are bulk management actions for groups. So you can use our interface to create groups, then you can delete groups, but when we are speaking about deleting groups, you can delete more than one at once, or you can select groups by a specific term. So when I said previously that you would need to delete all of the groups that contain word, let's say, test, you can use our wizard to do this, so you will be able to delete all of the groups that contain this specific term in their name. Except deleting groups, you can manage owners or members, so you will use our wizard to add or remove as many members or owners as you wish to one or more groups, which really simplifies this task. And except that, you can remove members or owners from all Office 365 groups. And what's very important here to say is that you can import more users, list of users, from a TXT or CSV file, which is supported for all of these sections. So before we move on to demo, I would just like to tell you something else, because this will be also probably interesting to you if you work with Office 365 and SharePoint Online. SPDocKit allows you to create numerous reports on SharePoint Online permissions. So you can check all of users and groups permissions. You can detect unique permissions, check where is broken inheritance and manage inheritance. What's also very, very important is that you can track Office 365 externally shared content, who are the users it's shared with. Then we have OneDrive report, which shows you a list of all users using OneDrive and check their usage with storage maximum, etc. So here you can see some samples. On the left image, you can see one of the externally shared reports. So you can use them to secure our content and basically follow up what's going on with sharing in your environment. And on the right side, you can see our report for OneDrive for Business. It visualizes key metrics and usage of your users' OneDrives. So that would be all from me now, and I will now ask Eva to continue with her presentation. You will now see all of this in a demo. So give us just a couple of seconds to switch screens. Yep, that's it.
Hello everyone, and thank you Maya for this nice introduction and overview of the subject. My name is Eva and I will guide you through today's demo. So let's get started. Okay, so I have my SPDocKit installed and running, and I would like to go through the process of adding my tenant from the start. So if you haven't still tried it, we'll go through the entire process. So I will navigate to SharePoint Online part, and as you can see, I already have one tenant, but we will add a new one. So we have a ribbon which contains 3 buttons regarding this connection. First of all, we need to use the connect one to add our tenant details. So for this demo, I decided to create a Microsoft demo tenant. So I will add my site URL and add it under the SharePoint Online. You can add a SharePoint on-premises site collection as well, but this is not the subject of this demo, so we will just add SharePoint Online ones. Also, I need to specify my credentials, so I will add the credentials I was given when I was creating the demo tenant. And that's it. So when it comes to this point, I need to decide if I want to add only this site URL or this site collection, or I want to discover all other site collections that are part of my tenant. So for this demo, I will choose to discover all other tenant sites as well. So now SPDocKit, just a second, sorry. I entered the wrong username, so I just need to change it and try again. Hopefully this time will work. So now SPDocKit is fetching all of my site collections, and I can see that I have 6 more site collections. So if you don't want to add all of them, you can just deselect them and SPDocKit will not take notice of them. For this demo, I will choose all and I will click OK. So once the SPDocKit is done with connecting to my tenant, it will appear on the left-hand side of SPDocKit. So we have Permission Explorer, and I can see these site collections I was talking about in our Connect wizard. And also I can see the structure, all the things you're already used to if you're using SPDocKit. What's really cool about this new feature is that when it comes to Office 365 groups and teams, you do not need to add them manually. If I click on this report, it's called Groups and Teams, SPDocKit will open a sign-in form. You are used to this sign-in form, is the new sign-in experience in SharePoint Online. And if I want to have SPDocKit detect all of my groups and teams, then I need to provide my credentials once more and click the Sign In button. After that, you will receive a list of all the permissions SPDocKit is going to use from your tenant. Of course, it's going to be sign in as you. You need to allow it to read and write to all groups and also to read and write to all users' full profiles. So you need to be global admin in order to accept these permissions. My account is admin account and I can click accept. Once I do that, SPDocKit will connect to my tenant And then I will receive a list of all of my Office 365 groups. So this is an overview of how many groups I have. So you have the number of rows, you can detect how many of groups do you have. You can also see their email, you can see if they're private or public, which is very important. You can see somebody created a lot of private groups that should not be private, or some groups should be private and they're now public. So you can give a quick eye and then change these settings. Also, you can see when these groups were created. For this demo, you can see that all of these current groups were created on the same date because it's a demo tenant, but otherwise you would receive different dates. Also, when I navigate to this Groups and Teams report, I can see that a new ribbon has appeared. It's the Office 365 Groups ribbon. It's called Manage because it has groups and memberships actions which can be applied to the current groups. Also, you will see later on that Wizard ribbon is also here. So as Maya said, wizards are here for bulk actions, so we'll see how to use them. We'll go back to the Manage. First of all, when I come to this report, I can use my mouse right click to see that all these actions that appear in my ribbon can also be performed using my context menu. So if I want to delete certain group, I can delete it from here. I can add new members or owners. It's just the matter of which group is selected at this point of time. But we'll expand this report to see that in this tree we have again the same list of all groups. And when I click on a specific one, for this example, let's say HR group, I can see all the owners and all the members of this group. Again, my Manage ribbon is here and I can start using it. Okay, so first of all, I want to create a group. I have, let's say, a new project. It's called GDPR. It's the cool buzzword these days. So I will create a new group and I will call it GDPR. It's the same interface as in Office 365, so you need to provide the description and the name of the group. I will say this is a GDPR group. And also I can select if my group is going to be public or private. Of course, just like in Office 365, I need to provide an owner, and let's say I will put Megan as the owner of this Office 365 group. You can see that this people picker for owners, it's the same as in other SPDocKit permission management actions, so you won't have a hard time getting used to it. And after that, I will just click OK. Okay, so my new group GDPR has appeared under the Groups and Teams Explorer, and I can see that when I select it, Megan has been added as an owner. Of course, I don't need just Megan. I need some members as well. So again, I can use my right click or I can use the ribbon action to add members to this group. I will click Add Members button. And again, I have the same people picker lookalike, and I can type in some of the users I want to add to this group, some of the members that will be dealing with the GDPR project. I will start with Adele, let's say. So again, I type in name or email, and SPDocKit will crawl my Active Directory and give me a suggestion. So I can click Adele and click OK. Again, SPDocKit will refresh my screen, and I can see that Adele has been added as a member to the GDPR group. Okay, if I want to add more members, I would again click Add Members, and then I will be able to see which are my current members in this group and also add new ones. What is really nice here, and Maya already mentioned it, if you have a lot of members, you want to add a certain group, you have a big project, you have a lot of team colleagues that you want to have dedicated conversation place or dedicated inbox or OneNote, then you would create a group and you want to add a lot of people here. So if you don't want to type in each and every member of that team manually, then you can use our new option, which we decided to add to make your life easier, and use this option, Import from File. So first of all, I will show you my file. So let's say I received from my manager a list of people that need to cooperate on this project, and I have, I don't know, 15 people. I don't want to type them in manually, so I will create a text file, just like Maya said, or CSV, and I will save it as a GDPR team. So once I do that, I can go back to SPDocKit, choose my text file, and click Open. You can see that SPDocKit will offer you to specify which is the delimiter in this file, and for me that is just space. And you can also detect if my data has headers or if it's divided by tab, semicolon, or comma. And you can also say which is the username column. For me, I will just leave it like this. I can see that all of my users from the text file are here. And I will click OK. So if it's a smaller number of people, SPDocKit would list all of the users that are a part of that text file, and it will say that they will be added. So you can see I didn't have to do that manually. SPDocKit crawled that from my text file. And once I click OK, SPDocKit will do its magic, applying the changes. This time, of course, depends on the number of users that have been added to the text file. And once it's done, again, just like before when I was doing it manually, all of my members I decided to add will appear under the members grid. If there's something going wrong with my wizard, then you will receive a small info that something is going on, but that will not interfere with other members. So SPDocKit will just skip that user if it's not existent, or if it's been deleted, or it's already part of that group, and you will receive again a nice clean report that SPDocKit has added all the other users you reported in the text file. Okay, so the same thing can be done for the owners. So it's the same screen basically, but only different labels. So you can do the same thing for owners. I will try to add Miriam to my owners group, and I can see that Megan is already here. So again, I can choose to do that manually or to import it from file. For now, I will just add Miriam, and I'm good to go. I have my GDPR team. It's up and running, and it's ready to do the project. Just like in Office 365, once you create an Office 365 group, this group will have its own site collection and all the other things that Maya mentioned that are part of these groups. Okay, if I accidentally added a wrong person, or that person had decided to leave the team or leave the company, then again, you can use the mouse right click or our ribbon action remove to remove that person from the group. I will choose Deborah because Deborah decided to go to HR, and I will click remove. So you will see which principal is going to be removed, and you need to confirm that you're sure, because she will no longer be able to access this project. Okay, so this is what it goes when it comes to groups. And if you have a lot of test groups, or some of your colleagues decided to create numerous groups that are no longer needed, then you can use the last action in our manage ribbon. It's called delete. You can again go to the groups and teams report to use it, or you can just go to this tree and select the group you no longer want to see and delete all the connected data. So I will decide to choose this last group, and if I click the delete group button, you will see that SPDocKit has deleted it in just blink of an eye, and also refreshed my tree so that this group is no longer visible here. Have in mind that deleting this group in SPDocKit is the same thing as deleting it in Office 365, so once you delete the group, the site collection will also be deleted. Okay, so these are the actions we currently implemented as a single action option, and Maya mentioned that we also offer a bulk actions. So probably that is the most exciting thing about these management options, that you can use wizards to do bulk changes. So for example, you had a big project, it's called BG, and you had created 10 groups for that purpose. Of course, you don't want to do the delete group action in Office 365 for 10 times, you can just go to SPDocKit, start the delete groups wizard, and you will see a couple of actions. First of all, you need to select the scope. If you have more than one tenant, then you can also choose more than one tenant. But for this demo, we will just use the current one. Okay, so SPDocKit will first ask me how I want to select these groups that are going to be deleted. If I choose to pick specific group, then SPDocKit will list all of the groups in one drop-down, and I can just pick the groups I want to delete and click OK, and that will be it. Also, you can do that by matching the term that is part of the name of the group, or you can use regular expressions. For this demo purpose, I decided to use contains option, and as I said, I want to delete all my groups that have been created for the DG project, and I don't want to do that manually. So I will select the second option, and I will put the DG as a part of the match term. Once I click next, in my preview step, SPDocKit is going to list all the groups it had found in my tenant that contain DG letters in their names. We'll give it more time. It needs to crawl all the groups. Let's just see if I selected the right tenant. Of course not. I selected the wrong one. So again, I need to select the tenant I want to delete the groups from. So the same thing applies to my tenant. I will leave the DG term as a part of the specific term I want to use when deleting the group, and I will click next, and now we can see that SPDocKit crawled all my groups and just listed all the groups that contain DG. So here you can see what is going to happen once you click next. If you're not sure that you want to do that, you can always go back and change the criteria you're going to use when deleting groups. For me, this is okay. I want to delete these groups, and I will click next. Again, SPDocKit will give you a nice clean overview which groups have been removed, and you can also save log for this action. You will be able to see when you deleted these groups and which groups were actually deleted. If I click finish, then I can just refresh my tree again, and I can see that groups containing the DG letters that were connected to my DG project are no longer here. So this is a very nice option. You don't have to go through each and every group and then delete it. You can do the bulk action and you're good to go. Also, you can do the same things when it comes to members and owners. Again, members and owners wizard are very similar. It's the same action basically, but one applies to members and the other one applies to owners. I can choose from 3 actions. First of all, I can add user or users to specific groups. I can remove users from specific groups, and I can also remove user from all groups. So for example, I can decide that if my colleague decided to leave the company, then I want to delete and I want to remove this user from all of the groups. I will click next. Again, I need to choose the tenant I want to perform this action on. And then I need to select the users I want to remove. For this purpose, I can again choose Adele, for example. Again, we have the same people picker look, and you can just type in name, and that's it. SPDocKit will crawl your Active Directory and find the proper principal which you can choose. When I click next, SPDocKit again will give me a preview of all of the groups that Adele will be removed from. So I don't need to go manually to each and every of these groups and then click remove for Adele. SPDocKit will do that for me. When I click next, again I can see the result action of SPDocKit wizard. If Adele is not a part of this group, for example finance, then SPDocKit will just skip that group and remove Adele from any other group that she is a part of. We'll give him some time to finish, and again you can save log and explore it later on. I will click finish, and if I go to, for example, legal, I can see that Adele is no longer part of that group. Okay, let's try to add, for example, members to multiple groups. So let's say I have 5 new colleagues that are joining our company, and you want to add them, but you don't want to go through each and every group and then add them manually. You can use the option I was mentioning before. You can use the bulk import from file. Again, I have a file and I will use it. Again, the same interface as I showed you under the actions part. And again, I have a list of people that will be added. So again, you can choose the delimiter, and also if your data has headers, I will just click OK. Again, SPDocKit will list me all the users that will be added. So I need to choose to which groups I want to add them. I would say that these colleagues are part of a marketing crew. So I just want to add them to my marketing groups. I know that I only have 2 marketing groups, so for this time I will not use the contains option. I will use this specific group. Again, I have a drop down. I will choose marketing and marketing campaign because I want them to be able to access these site collections, and click OK. Again, under the preview screen, you can see that Mega, Miriam, and others will be added to the selected groups, that is, to the marketing group and to the marketing campaigns. If I click Next, then again, you will see that SPDocKit is applying changes, and once it's done, it will give you a nice overview, as well the option to save the log of the performed actions. Okay, so let's see if these people are actually added. Yeah, we can see Miriam is here, and all the others we choose, like Nestor or Pradeep. Okay, so you can do the same thing for the owners or the members. It's the same steps and probably the same wizard. You just need to be careful if you're adding them to the owners or to the members group. You know which part of team they are part of. Okay, so these are management options we offer. So you have the manage part, which are concentrated to the single group, to the single principal, and then you have wizards, which are oriented to the bulk actions, so you can do actions on multiple groups and on multiple users. And don't forget to use the import from file option, because it's really, really cool. That's not all. We also decided to add OneDrive report, which Maya mentioned. So it's not that much connected to Office 365 group, but you can give a look, because here you can see who has OneDrive, how many of the storage is being used, which are warning and maximum quotas, and also you can track who is the owner of that OneDrive. So this report can be quite useful if you want to detect who is using the most storage space in OneDrive or who is not using OneDrive at all. So it's a nice auditing report. There is one more thing. You can also track changes in your Office 365 memberships. So if you want to be sure that nobody is leaving the group or accessing the group, if you don't want that. Let's say that my tenant, I will switch to the previous one. Let's say that, I don't know, my marketing group is a part of my Contoso site. I can see that I've given them access to the search site, and I can see that they are part of this site. They can access it, and they have contributed rights. I already created a snapshot of my environment, just like you're already used to. So I have a previous state of my farm when it comes to permissions. If I decide to change certain marketing memberships, let's say I will remove Deborah. Then once again, when I make a snapshot of my farm, I can choose the custom option, and I only want to load the permissions and I want to track changes in the access rights. Then I will choose the proper tenant, and I will also choose one site collection to make this quicker. So I choose my site collection Contoso. And when I click Next, SPDocKit will start to crawl my site collection Contoso. It will try to detect all the permission differences and all the membership changes, and once it's done, we're going to use the compare wizard to show you that you can see who has been added or removed from a certain Office 365 group. So now SPDocKit is loading my site collection. We'll give it some time. It won't be long. So once I receive this snapshot, which is probably now almost done, I can then schedule this permission differences report I'm going to show you using the subscriptions and alerts wizard to receive these differences to my email. So I don't even have to go to SPDocKit to see the differences. I can use just a subscription manager and receive these changes on my email. So as I said, we're going to use the compare wizard, the permissions type, and I want to track permission differences. So when I come to the screen, I need to expand the site I'm interested in. And you can see that under my marketing Office 365 group, SPDocKit will detect that Deborah is no longer with them. So this is the manual type. And if you want to receive them, then just use the subscriptions and alerts wizard to add new subscription, or even better, new alert. And you will receive this alert only if these differences have been detected. So I decided to add new alert and new report. I will choose the permission difference. And again, I need to select which site I want to track. I will select home, and I will say show group members so I can track changes. And that's it. Okay, you click OK, and once you're done, you'll save this alert, and you're good to go. Each time a snapshot is created, you will receive a differences report if there are any differences detected. So okay guys, that was it. I hope we managed to show you most of the options SPDocKit is offering. But of course, that's not all. That's only a part when it comes to Office 365 groups. As Maya mentioned, please be sure to check our permission report part as well. So all the reports available in SPDocKit for on-premise are also available for SharePoint Online. So you can track externally shared content, you can see your site collection hierarchy, you can track security changes, and multiple other things. So we have a free trial, please try it, and we would really appreciate if you would send us your feedback and suggestions, because we have just started with the Office 365 management features, and if you have some of the features you would like to see or that we are currently missing, please send us an email. You can send it to me or Maya or to our support, and we will be really, really happy to implement it. So thank you guys for your patience, and I'm leaving you to Maya again.
So thank you everybody for joining us today. As Eva said, if you want to contact us, please send us an email to support@syskit.com, or if you want to arrange a demo, whatever, feel free to email us, and our team will answer you as soon as they receive your the questions. And that will be all from us, so feel free to try the tool, join us again at another webinar, and we hope that you enjoyed our presentation today. So that will be all. Thank you, Eva. Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.